God's in the process right now of establishing some bridges.
Teaching the found.
We've got to be able to get a generation from one side over into the next.
With passion.
There is power. Power. Power in the name.
And purpose.
I just had to make up my mind a long time ago that I'm going to do this come hell or high water.
Power for Living with Bishop Dale C. Bronner.
St. John chapter 10. And I'm just going to focus in on one verse today. Verse 10. Familiar verse of scripture here. The thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. And Jesus said, I have come that they may have life and that they may have it more abundantly, more abundantly, more abundantly. I'm talking today from the subject, living the abundant life. Living the abundant life. The abundant life. Are you getting the most out of your life? I want to ask you some questions that would cause you to think deeper about your life. Because life is made to live fully. Life is made to love deeply. Life is made to laugh heartily. Life is made so that you can learn passionately. And life is made so that you can leave a legacy. And I want to ask you a few questions here for you to ask yourself to be able to get the most out of your life. Jesus said, I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. I don't want to focus on what the devil has come to do. To rob, to kill, and destroy. We see evidence of that. We see that proliferating in the world, in people's lives, in their finances, in their relationships, robbing their dreams, their ambition, their hope, killing their desire for success in God, to be able to do more for the kingdom of God, destroying their reputation, their whole images of who they are, their self-concept, destroying their faith in God. We know about the enemy coming to rob, to kill, and to destroy. But I want to focus on what Jesus came to do for us. Is that all right? That is, that we might have life and have it more abundantly. Now let me tell you something. If you don't have a life outside of the church, you're off balance. Now, I don't mean to insult folks, who are saved, but I have fun outside of church. If this is the only time you have a little peace and joy, God bless you, but I have a life outside of the church. Jesus said that I have come that you might have life. He didn't say I have come that you might have church. I've come that you might have life. We come to the church to celebrate the life that he gives us outside of the church. We don't come to have church. We are the church. And there ought to be an expression of your living in dynamism and power and effectiveness and joy and peace. Did you know that peace is not the absence of problems? Peace is not the absence of trouble. Peace is not the absence of turmoil. Peace is the result of the presence of God in your life. And so you have God's peace because of his incredible presence in your life. And I just want to ask you some questions to provoke thought, to help you to get more out of your life. You ought to want more. You ought to want more. Jesus said, I've come that you might have life and have it how? More abundantly. More abundantly. So I'm not trying to take anything away from the life that you've already got. This life that we now live, we don't even live it by our own faith. We live it by the faith of the Son of God. Now, here's what this is saying. That if you don't attempt something that is beyond what you can do in your own strength, if you don't reach for something that exceeds your grasp, then your aim is too low. Dr. Martin Luther King had a mentor by the name of Dr. Benjamin Elijah Mays. And Dr. Mays said, it is not failure, but low aim is sin. To him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, I am so worn out with people who are satisfied with mediocrity. We ought to have a hunger in us for something more. You ought to have a hunger to do more. You ought to have a hunger to experience more. You are not born to inhale and to exhale. Life ought to be lived with vigor and vim and vitality and enthusiasm, where you wake up in the morning excited about life. Some people's greatest excitement is about TGIF, just living for the weekend. You're in the wrong profession if you dread going to work on Monday. And I understand that you sometimes got to do what you got to do until you can do what you want to do. But you ought to be working on something. Not just waiting on something, but working on something. You ought to have something in the oven. It's all right for your stomach to be hungry as long as you got something in the oven. As long as I can smell something cooking when I got a strong appetite. But I don't want to be hungry and just sitting around and I've got nothing in the oven. I can hold off as long as I can smell it cooking. As long as I know that I'm not just waiting on something, but I'm waiting on something that I'm working on, because I got the oven already fired up. And so there ought to be something that you have in the oven now that you're baking up in your own life. You ought to be working on something. Touch your neighbor, say, I'm working on something. I want you to be able to get more out of your life. This is not it. This is not the totality of your life. This is not it. This is not it. There is more. Somebody say more. You ought to want more joy. You ought to want more peace. You ought to want to do more for the kingdom of God. You ought to want more out of your life. I hope that you get a holy discontent with where you are. Because if you don't until you become dissatisfied with where you are, nothing will change. I've taught you before that the first precursor for change must be disgust. Disgust. If you get disgusted with something, you'll never change certain things until you get disgusted with it. Until you become disgusted with the way that things are. I'm sick and tired of just living life, waking up in the morning, trying to make it through the day. Getting enough drugs and that I can make it through the day. Just enough to make it through the week. Just, Lord, just let me hold out to Friday. I mean, how long are we going to do that? Life is designed to be more than just for you to live and come alive on the weekend. Party all weekend long and then dread Monday morning coming around. No. When you're in your destiny, when you step into your place of destiny, you wake up and there ought to be an excitement in your life. Don't just live for the weekend. May I just tell you, that's just too few days out of the year for you to be happy as the weekend, Friday and Saturday. I mean, really, it's too little. Is he not Lord Monday morning? Is he not Lord Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday? Don't sell yourself short just to be able to live for the weekend. You were created for more than the weekend. And until you become aware of that listen, there is more that is available for me. There's more. There is more. Jesus wants you to have more. He said, I have come that you might have life and have it how? More abundantly. There ought to be enough in the overflow of the abundance of God that he wants to bring into your life. You ought to realize Jesus wants more from me. I hope that you settle that it's not a sin for you to have an appetite for more. Guess who gives you appetite? Celebrate it. Feed the godly appetite. I'm not telling you to feed lust. I'm saying feed a godly appetite that he puts in your heart for more. Feed that. Here's question number one. Who do I love and what am I doing about it? Who do I love and what am I doing about it? Your life is dull, bland, and insipid if you don't have somebody to love. And if that love is only me, myself, and I, what a small package you are. How discontented you are when your whole happiness is based on nobody but little old you. Who do I love and what am I doing about it? If you want to have an abundant life, you got to have somebody to love. I'm just sorry, you've got to have somebody to love. And may I suggest to you that you begin that with loving God with all of your heart, your mind, your soul, and your strength. So that, I mean, it ought to be that if it were not for your love for God, sometimes you wouldn't want to see the next day come. I mean, you know, the folks told God, they said, Lord, if you don't go up with us, we're not going. You ought to be so in love with God that, Lord, if you were to be taken out of my life, I don't even want to live. Be so in love with God. I hope that you have established a strong love for God. Now, when you love God, I want to ask you this question: how do you show it? When you love God, how do you show it? I see some of the worst sinners that say to the Lord, Lord, I love you. Can't nobody tell me, Lord, I don't love you. Well, I'm not saying that you don't love him. I'm just asking you the question: how do you show him that you love him? Jesus said, if you love me, keep my commandments. The question is, how do you show him that you love him? If you want to get more out of life, you got to love somebody. Who do I love, and what am I doing about it? Love is more than just an emotion. Love is a decision. Love is a decision. That's why I don't buy it when you tell me, I just don't love him anymore. We used to be so in love, and he done taking me through so much, so many new changes. I don't even love him anymore. You're talking about a fickle feeling. Love is a decision. I made a decision. It is a decision. It is your decision that keeps you held in the bonds of matrimony. It's your decisions that hold you to your commitment, not your feelings. Because I can show you a whole lot of marriages that have been together for a long time. If they went by their feelings, they would have left a long, long time ago. They would have been done gone. Now, whenever you hear somebody say they've been done gone, they didn't just leave. They've been gone a long time. So who do you love, and what are you doing about it? That's the question. You can never know how much time that you have with the people that you love. You'll never know, because they can go at any time. They can honestly go at any time, just as you can. You don't know how much longer they're going to be here for you to love them, and you don't know how long you're going to be here to love them. And so you must make the most of that time. Let me just remind you that the essence of life is in the quality of your relationships, not the quality of your possessions. The essence of life is in the quality of your relationships, not the quality of your possessions. It doesn't matter what kind of house you live in if you're living with a demon. No matter care how many bathrooms and bedrooms and fireplaces you got, and whether your countertops are granite or marble or plastic. It doesn't even matter when you're living with a demon. What difference does it make what size your rims are and how fine your automobile is if you're riding with a demon? You can't be happy. Who do I love, and what am I doing about it? Our children spell love T-I-M-E. T-I-M-E, that's how they spell love. I see some people that claim to be in love, but they don't have any discipline. Discipline without love produces rebels. Discipline without love produces rebels. Love without discipline produces spoiled brats. Love without discipline produces spoiled brats. Touch a neighbor, say, I know some of them. But when you have equal parts of love plus discipline, you get real disciples. Equal parts of love plus discipline, you get real disciples. Real discipleship is about love, and discipline. It produces real disciples. And let me just tell you this, that if you're not spending time with people that you love, change that. You don't want to live with regret on their deathbed or on yours that you did not spend time with the people that meant the most to you in your life. They have found now that some people are accepting jobs that don't pay as much because they have more time to live their life. What good does it do for you to have to work your fingers to the bone all the time? You don't even have any time to even enjoy your money that you've made by working extra and doing all of this. You've got to be able to spend time with the people that you love. I'm just talking about how to have life and have it more abundantly. You've got to spend time with people that you love. Who do you love, and what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? I mean, if you're holding a grudge against a family member or friend, let it go and reconcile. Let it go. I mean, if you've done something to hurt a loved one, ask for forgiveness. Drop the pride and simply make up. If you haven't seen them in a while, call them and set up a date to be able to spend some time with them. Never ever make the situation greater than the relationship. And never cut what you have the power to untie. Don't destroy your relationships. Life, the essence of life is in relationships. You don't want to wind up with money and then you have burned so many bridges and offended so many people that you have nobody to enjoy your money with. It's no fun to go to dinner alone. It's no fun to watch your favorite movie alone. You ought to have a meaningful relationship, somebody that loves you for you. I don't care how quirky you are, how messed up you are, how jacked up, how problematic you are, how much baggage you've got, how much damage that you feel to yourself. You need somebody that will love you for you. Not for what you do for them, that will love you for you. You just need somebody that is in your life because they know your weaknesses and they love you in spite of them. How liberating is that? They know your quirkiness, they know the dumb mistakes of things that you do, and they love you anyhow. I mean, when you do something stupid, they still look at you and say, that's my boo. You just need people to celebrate you for who you are. I'm here to tell you that there are more people that die from loneliness and boredom than they do from sickness. More people die from loneliness. Why do you think it is that when you find a couple that's been married for a long time, a great number of years, and one of them dies, and then the other one is dead 6 months later? They didn't die from sickness, they died from loneliness. Who do I love? And how do I show it? This is just a question to provoke you into a deeper, more meaningful level of life. It's not even about, I mean, when you really love somebody, it's not even about where you are, it's about who you're with. That you may not be able to afford to take them over and look at the Eiffel Tower, kiss under some romantic waterfall. You got to make your waterfall standing in the doorway when it's raining up on a bridge. It's not even about all of that. It's about who you're with. You got to have, who do I love? And what am I doing about it? You got to know how to have fun in this life and enjoy it. I'm tired of sour-puss Christians who don't even know how to live life and enjoy it. Got to try to act all sanctimonious. Jesus said, I've come that you might have life, having more abundantly. And he wasn't talking about in the sweet by and by. I'd rather have my pie on my way to the sky. Instead of getting there and then having the whole pie, just live a little bit, laugh a little bit, love a little bit, learn a little bit, and leave a legacy. Show them how to do it. This thing is about the simplicity of being able to have Jesus to come into your life, who is joy, who is peace, and let him live through you and have a blessed time. If the only time that you can get your groove on and celebrate is when you're in church, you're off balance. He wants to meet you Monday morning. Why not turn Monday night into Friday night? I mean, what's stopping you? What's stopping you? It's only a decision away. More people die from loneliness than they do from sickness. And to have all of this stuff and then to lose yourself in the loneliness of it is a very unfortunate situation. Who do I love and what am I doing about it? Don't let your life pass you by chasing something that does not have relationship at its core. Christianity is about a relationship. You would so miss God trying to chase the blessings of God and never seeking God's face and his heart. When you waste your time seeking his hand instead of seeking his face, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray and seek my face. He wants you to know him intimately, have relationships, seek my face. He's saying, I want you to know me, not know what I can do for you. I want you to know me. I want you to know me, not merely what I can do for you. Stop looking at what the man is driving and see what drives the man. Fall in love with what drives the man. Because when you don't realize that, then you'll get fascinated over what the man drives and don't realize he's driving in debt. Who do I love? And what am I doing about it? Who do I love and what do I do about it? What am I doing about it? Who do I love and what am I doing about it? When you answer that question, it will bring you into an abundant living. That's the first step. Who do I love and what am I doing about it? Who do I love and what am I doing about it? If you need new friends, be a friend. Let him who wants friends show himself friendly. Just launch out. You'll be surprised when you open your life up. It can bless you in an incredible way. Here's the second question I want you to ask. Am I pursuing my dream, or is fear stopping me? Am I pursuing my dream, or is fear stopping me? I've come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Am I pursuing my dream, or is fear stopping me? Now, what have you always wanted to do? What is it that you've always wanted to do? Maybe it's something that you dreamed of as a child, but you have given up as unrealistic. Maybe it's something that you still want to do, but you're afraid of failing. What is that thing? What fears are stopping you? I mean, what would be worse that could happen if you overcame? What would be the worst thing that could happen if you overcame those fears and then pursued your dream? I love something that Robert Kennedy said. He said, only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. And if you're already pursuing your dream, pat yourself on the back, because you're doing awesome. Are you engaging your potential? May I just remind you that the proof of desire is in pursuit. The proof of desire is in pursuit. Now, ladies, if a man tells you that he really wants you and he never pursues you, if a man won't fight to get to you, he won't fight for you. You have to look at, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. If he won't fight to you, he won't fight for you. Just a little something to think about. But the proof of desire is in pursuit. The proof of desire is in pursuit. If I'm really hungry, even if I don't catch anything, I'm going hunting. I'm not going to sit at home and starve to death. I'm going hunting. I'm going to shoot at something. I'm going to shoot at something. The proof of desire is in pursuit. Don't just sit there, do something. Go after your dream. Listen, this is the year of action. This is the year of action. This is a year of action. Do something. Pursue your dream. You got to have love. Have love in your heart. Pursue it. Pursue it. It's perhaps the most important. Fall in love if you're not in love already. Find somebody to love. Whenever you love, you risk being hurt. You cannot separate that risk. It goes along with the territory. But you need to be in a situation. Love will change your whole outlook on life. If you've never been in that place of love where you've just been on the phone, it's not even about the conversation you have. You're just hanging on the phone. Late at night, 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. You first meet people, you're in that honeymoon phase. First few weeks that you're with them, just, hey. What you thinking? What you thinking? Now you hang up. No, you hang up first. Just in love. It's hard to be in love and feel old, because love makes your heart flutter. It helps your circulation. It gives you something for which to live. I feel so sorry for people who don't know how to live abundantly because they don't love lavishly. May I just suggest to you, Jesus said, I've come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Go outside every now and then. Just get out. Don't be shut in by the indoors. Jesus said, I've come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Learn to savor your food. Don't just rush and gobble it down. Savor it. Oh, I can't tell you, when I'm eating something good, I just like to take my time. They know when I feel like it's good, I make sounds. Savor your food. Don't just rush through a meal. Savor your food. That's one thing that I like about Europe. You go there and they never rush you in the restaurants. They will never bring you your check unless you ask for it. You can sit there for hours. It's about the fellowship. It's about the engagement.
Thank you for watching Power for Living.